Hello investors, I hope all of you had a good trading day today. Today I broke even, which was okay. I definitely got held down by MBIO and TTOO. Took some losses on those today. They just kind of came down, and TTOO has definitely been falling. I definitely think the value is there and I still own it. I'm hanging in there. So today I did something a little more advanced, and I loaded a day trade video today that I did on EPZM. EPZM got FDA approval, which was really exciting for them, and I was able to make 9.5% in 15 minutes. That video kind of breaks down what I look at as far as bars and all of that, and there were definitely some that stayed in and probably made more money than that. The main thing I'm trying to do within a day trade is I have a clear strategy and I stick to that strategy, and that's what makes me money. Take a look at that. I think it's well worth your time. One thing to kind of keep in mind is that tomorrow we may have 2 more FDA approvals on their way. We have Evoke that could get FDA approval. We definitely made a little money on Evoke, and most everybody should have sold it and made a profit on it. But also MBRV, if that thing gets approved, I think that could really skyrocket. I think it's one of those stocks that it either gets approved and it goes to $2, or it drops down to 40 cents. So it's going to be very bipolar tomorrow, one way or the other. So we'll see what happens. I think that if MBRV gets approved, that would be a candidate for good ride-out ownership, in that you could definitely buy it and hold it. If it does not get approved, I would stay away from it. Just not worth it. Evoke, there might be a question of whether or not after they get FDA approval, if they need to do an offering, but I still think it's way undervalued. So I think Evoke, if it gets approved, I think that would be a good one to jump in also. So anyway, you just might watch for that. You could try a small amount of money, watch the video that I had on EPZM, and then see if that makes sense to you and see if it's something you think you could do and do a day trade, or you could just buy it and hold it. I think if either of those 2 companies get approved, that they're well worth owning. Okay, so let's just get to the list. So number 7 is HCHC. This had strong insider activity reported yesterday. Very surprised that it dropped in price. It looked really good. If you go to insider-monitor.com and you take a look at one day ago and you take a look at those insider buys, I think you'd be surprised it's down also. I just really can't believe that thing fell today. But hey, stock market doesn't care what we think, so that's what happens. HCHC I still think is a strong investment. I'm in it. I'm going to hold it and see and wait for news. Should be good. Next is number 6. Number 6 is FOSL. This had insider activity today, so very fresh. And it wasn't a huge amount of money. It was a senior VP that did it, $150,000, but it was of their own money, and it appears to be an open market. It was at $5 even, which makes me skeptical, but I went through, and indeed the stock was at that price multiple times through the day, so it's very possible that it's indeed open market. All right, number 5, EVFM. EVFM is just kind of been sitting there, but there is more insider activity reported today. There's an insider purchase today. There was one yesterday, there was one the day before that. All of them have been smallish. None of them have been huge, like eye-popping or anything like that, but so many in a row definitely says to me that this stock is undervalued and that the officers of the company believe that it's undervalued. And they recently had FDA approval. They did an offering, so they had plenty of cash for manufacturing. All that's closed and over with, and it's just sitting there. So hopefully we get a big move up on that one. Number 4, HRTX. HRTX, I think, is going to be a really good PDUFA date run-up. They have a PDUFA date of June 26th, and so far so good. I was able to pick up some at a terrific deal. It was actually down a little in the morning, and so I was able to load up right around there. I feel really good about the prospects. I think it's way undervalued, and here we go. We're off for the ride. Should be interesting. Number 3 is CHMA, which continues to march upward. Just about every day it's been up here lately. The volume is surging on it. This is an upcoming PDUFA date of June 26th also. So far so good. I'm doing really well in it. I'm feeling very confident about it. We'll see if it gets approved, but I'm not really in it for the approval. Probably will be in it 2 to 3 days prior to approval and then sell. That's usually how I handle these type of run-up stocks. Number 2, NVAX. This has been terrific. So there are buyout rumors on this, And it's got so much momentum going up also with everything that's going on in the world. And I really wasn't paying attention to this stock at all. So I thank my friend Miles from Canada who contacted me and said, hey, you should be looking at this and this is why. And I really appreciate those type of messages. NVAX has just been a really strong move for me personally. I think I'm up 13% in it so far and climbing. So it just continues to move up. We'll just keep owning it and keep going from there. And number one on the list is YAYO. This continues to move up. It didn't move up a ton today, just a couple percentage. It had very bullish insider activity reported yesterday. And so far it is saving my portfolio over the last couple of days. It's up 62.5%. And I'm expecting continuation on this. They are a rideshare company, and who knows why the insider buying happened like it did, but it's very bullish, and so hopefully buyout, maybe? I would love that, of course. But anyway, stocks I still own that are not on this list. So there's so much competition to get on this list in that I want to put the best picks on here. Annex has fallen off this list. I still own it. Bought it on insider activity. If you remember, we bought it and sold it after a couple of days of insider activity and made 19%. And then there was more insider activity, so I bought back in. But so far, not so good. I lost 5% of that just from the second entry. But I'm pretty sure it's going to turn around, or more insider activity might be on the way, or hey, news, news is always great. And then there's JAX, which I recommended this morning if you follow on Stocktwits. Insider activity, extremely bullish insider activity. I was not able to really get a good entry point on it, so I waited to recommend it until it dropped a little bit. So this morning I felt good about some of the entry prices that we're at, and then it dropped even further. But I think you should feel good that multiple officers have bought this thing, and I'm expecting a run up or news for there to be some reason. And then also TTOO, I still own it. I think it's worth $5 a share. Personally, I'm down 19% in it, so definitely feeling a lot of pain from that. But I believe in the test. I believe in the due diligence that I did. And I really do think that the stock is worth $5 a share, and it's got news that could pop it up at any time. So I'm just gonna hold it. And I'm not a wizard, so not all these picks will be perfect, but hopefully most of them will work out for you. I do a lot of work for this, so if you could, please hit that amazing and most wonderful like button, and then please remember to subscribe and turn on bell notifications. Also, in the comments, tell me what you think. I love to hear what you think, and I'm trying to always make improvements to the channel. And also, my editor is doing very well at his improvements, and he's working very hard to make this the best that it possibly can be. Anyway, I hope tomorrow is a fantastic day. Have a great week because we made all kinds of money. Raythoven, signing off.